All right, Jonathan Green, Solar Green, grass seed review. Been exactly 3 weeks since I started this project, and I've got mixed results, but overall I'm very happy with it. The grass is maybe 8 inches long in certain places. It's laid down because today I went ahead and cut down some limbs and drug them up to my limb pile. It laid the grass down. I'm going to cut it today. I'll show you a before and after picture. I'm really amazed with it. This stuff comes in 7-pound bags, and according to the bag label, it says it'll do 3,500 square feet. Of course, that's overseeding, not new seeding. So I probably should have used 4 pounds per square feet. Per 1,000 square feet. But I went ahead and used 2 pounds per 1,000 square feet. Did about 14,000 square feet. And I'm wishing I'd gone ahead and doubled that. It took me 4 bags. That's 28 pounds on bare ground to do close to 14,000 square feet. But after 3 weeks, it's really looking pretty good. If you look at it close, you'll see that it's not full coverage yet. It's about midway across my yard, and I'm thinking maybe I should have cut it when it was like 15 days old instead of 21 days old. The grass looks pretty, but it's laid down. I think I waited too long to cut. Last year it took me a month before I really had good germination. So anyhow, we're going to try and cut it today. Hopefully my mower's powerful enough to make this stuff stick up. I'll give you a close-up. You can see that when it first germinated, which was like 5 days, there was little grass sprouts everywhere. Every square inch of this yard was covered with little needle-thin grass. But now it seems like it wants to start growing in clumps, little tufts. And that's what you would expect out of a turf-type tall fescue. Although this does contain 10% of something called Texas bluegrass, which is a mystery grass to me. I really can't find out very much about it. This is a new blend from Jonathan Green. Okay, we're gonna do a quick view around the yard, and you'll see it's not the same everywhere. Oh yeah, I'm starting to cut down some of these trees. Although my project is 3 weeks old, we've only had one rain in the past 3 weeks, and it was a big one, had over 1 inch in about 45 minutes, and it washed out a lot of stuff here along the roadway. The grass you're looking at here is 8 days old. This is what happens if, when you first seed, 8 days, and it looks great. That's what's making me think maybe I should have cut my grass last week instead of waiting until today. Here's another area where I had low-hanging branches. Even though the shade is no denser here than it is over there, you can see that it just didn't do well here. Maybe it was insects, grubs, armyworms, or fungi. I don't know. But this grass came up great, and a week, 10 days later, it just disappeared. So yesterday I went ahead and reseeded and put down those little gray balls that I love so much. And I guarantee you in another week this will look like what I just showed you along the ditch there. Oh, by the way, in this area where I had to reseed, this morning I went ahead and cut down all the low-hanging branches. So hopefully that's going to help the project. Okay, in spite of the, the areas where I had low-hanging branches, and even though it germinated great, it just didn't survive. I've reseeded that. All this other stuff looks pretty good. And all those little gray beads that I put down, instead of wheat straw or peat moss, has pretty much disappeared. The stuff is biodegradable. And so where my grass has come up after 3 weeks, you can barely see any evidence of those little gray balls. So I really like that stuff. And, it's kind of wicked the first day or two, especially if you tilled your yard up like I did. It gets stuck on the bottom of your shoes. But after a few days, it seems like it loses some of its stickiness, and you can walk across it. But, okay, let's get this grass cut. Be a before and after picture. This is before. All right, a little out of breath. I'm an old man. Pushing a mower around ain't my thing. It doesn't look like I did anything. This is the after picture. This is after mowing my grass. I've got a little Troy built push mower with a bag on it. I don't even know how many horsepower it is, maybe 5 or 6. But every time I start down there at my irrigation pool and come up to the end of the yard and back down, my bag was full and I had to dump it into a trash barrel. And I had 2 slam-packed 32-gallon trash barrels full of grass clippings, which is a heck of a lot heavier than leaves, let me tell you. But I had my mower set at the highest setting. So from the clippings I got, I'm assuming I did cut some. But man, it looks just about the same as it did a while ago. So I'm going to give this a couple of days. I'm going to irrigate today, and maybe 2 or 3 days from now, I'll come out and lower my mower down 1 notch and cut again. I just didn't want to cut it too close on my first cut. But like I said before, I almost think I should have cut it a few days ago instead of waiting for the 3-week update. But anyhow, most of it's standing up now, at least. So I think it's probably about 6 inches tall now. And we'll give it another haircut soon. Unless there's a significant change, I'll probably update this at the 2-month mark, which will be November the 11th. And by then I should have cut my grass at least 4 or 5 times. I really love this solar green for one reason only so far, and that's the immediate gratification I got after seeding. I mean, within 5 days, it would just made me feel so good. The 2-week mark, I might post some videos of that. Didn't look that much different than this, best I can remember. Maybe this is a little healthier looking than it looked last week, but it was this long last week. So anyhow, I'll stay in touch with you, and you can keep in touch with me. And this will be sort of a diary of what's going on with this new kind of grass seed I've never even heard of, Jonathan Green Solar Green. 10% of it is something called Texas bluegrass, which is supposed to have rhizomes that will aggressively, unquote, spread out once it gets established. But it's not established yet. This is still baby steps here. Okay. I really appreciate you guys watching, and like I said before, I don't read my comments, but please, if y'all have some ideas, share it with each other. I'm not an expert at this. I should be, as many times as I've done a whole new yard start, but I'm pretty stupid when it comes to growing grass. I always fail. All right, thanks again.